First of 16 coaches this week, Oklahoma's
Morning
Brent
again.
Venables.
Our first football coach of the day will be Brent Venables from the University of Oklahoma. Brent was named Oklahoma's 23rd head football coach on December 5th, 2021, and has directed the Sooners to a 32-20 record during his 4 seasons. He's a former 13-year Oklahoma assistant coach who won a national championship with the Sooners and 2 more during his time as an assistant coach at Clemson, where he had a decade-long run as a defensive coordinator. Last year's team was 10-3, second 10-win campaign under Brent Venables. And if you remember, heading into the month of November, one of those teams not in that benefited from the expanded playoff and playing really well through a difficult part of their schedule. They advanced to the college football playoff and earning that number 8 seed. He's a native of Kansas, a graduate of Kansas State with a political science degree, earned back in 1992, and he and his wife Julie have 4 children. If you noticed in Destin, he had a neck brace on, having had neck fusion surgery in May, but that didn't stop him from climbing a couple different 14,000-foot peaks in Colorado while hiking this summer. Welcome to the stage, the University of Oklahoma's head football coach, Brent Venables.
All right, I appreciate it, Greg. Thanks so much. Good to be here with everyone. As Greg said, excited to be here this time of the year. This is my 33rd year in coaching, my 5th year at Oklahoma, and my 3rd SEC Media Day. This time of the year never gets old. It goes by fast, though. On behalf of Roger Denny, our athletic director, Joe Harris, our president, and Randall Stevenson, our chair of football, and our board of trustees, I have to say it's an extreme honor to be here to represent both our program and our University of Oklahoma. Everything that we've done for the last 7 months, as we know, builds to this moment. And this is a very energetic, and there's a buzz in the air. There's an excitement across the country, people that love college football. And with kickoff, training camp is just around the corner for us here in 16 days, and our kickoff against UTEP 46 days from now. So really exciting times. I'd like to thank Commissioner Sankey and his entire staff for, again, all the countless depth of the staff that they have to not only put this event on, but all that they do, the leadership, to their tireless work to make the SEC from top to bottom the premier a conference in all of intercollegiate athletics, a first class in everything that we do. I want to take this opportunity as well to recognize and give gratitude to our incredible donor base and our fans, their investment in our program, their commitment, their passion, their love, the impact on the success that they have for us as a program. It truly does take everybody, and again, I can't thank them enough. Incredibly fortunate when it comes to that. Thanks to the great city of Tampa for hosting this event, putting on a first-class event. Baker Mayfield recommended to Mike Hauk, our SID, to go to Charlie's last night for a good steak, and it was absolutely phenomenal. Players really enjoyed it, and the butter cake is better than what they said it was going to be, and so I highly recommend that. And but I appreciate all the media, all of you for being here, especially the Oklahoma media. I'm going to give you the flowers one time a year. If you're lucky, I'm going to give it. But no, I just want to thank you for all your hard work covering our program. Certainly our players that are here today, you all are going to really enjoy your time with them. And then finally, just before I answer any questions, I also want to express my love and appreciation for the amazing staff that I have, and for the players that are here, and especially for the players that are still back in Norman, and their body of work, their commitment, just their relentlessness over the last 7 months to give us a chance to have the kind of season that we want. One of the many reasons that gets us excited about this year's team is finding, the three guys and telling several other guys that were more than deserving that they weren't going to make the cut. And the depth of the leadership that we have in our locker room right now back in Norman is good as that we've had, better than probably that we've had here in the 5 years at Oklahoma. So really excited about that. And the three young men that are here today, several of you have probably already heard from them and have visited with them, but our quarterback, John Mateer from Little Elm, Texas, a defensive end, Taylor Wine from Nashville, Tennessee, and offensive guard, Eddie Pierre-Louis from right here in Tampa at Tampa Catholic. These are three young men that, man, they're as good as it gets when it comes to the type of alphas that they are and their ability to elevate everyone around them. But they're going to be able to give you the details about this year's team and where they want to see it going and what they believe this year's team's identity is going to be all about. So you guys are going to love getting a chance to know them a little more. This year's team, we got a lot of really good pieces. The real challenge now is kind of putting it all together to build the best team that we possibly can. Over the next several weeks and several months, the true identity of this football team will be developed through going through really, really hard stuff, the highs and the lows and the challenges of a season. We got to build and stack every day. Got a lot of hard work that's in front of us right now. Don't have a day to waste programmatically, but really looking forward to getting started with them here in 16 days. So with that, I'll be glad to answer questions.
Thank you, Coach Venables. If you have a question, raise your hand. We have Tommy, Jalen, and Kalen with microphones. We will get one to you. We'll come up here, Jalen, right there to our left-hand side in front of me, Coach, about 3/4 of the way back.
Connor O'Gara, OG kickoff with the next round. Coach, is it weird for you to process the fact that despite all the hiking and stadium runs you do, that you're now the oldest coach in this conference?
Nothing's weird to me, but I'll say this: I don't feel old. I'm double nickels, 55. That sounds old, but my spirit's good. I'm in a great spot.
Okay, we'll stay over here on the left-hand side on the far wall.
Hey Coach, this is Reagan Scarda of Inside Arkansas. SEC success is always proven through winning through the battles in the trenches. How will you replicate the success of last year's defensive line? How will you solve the problems your offensive line has had in previous years?
Well, we returned 4 guys up front. Last year we started 3 freshmen. So what comes with freshmen, guys that haven't played in the SEC or maybe their first snaps in college? You're not as confident, you're not as aggressive, you're not as strong as a 4th or 5th year guy. There's the timing, there's the cohesion. A year ago on offense, we had 9 first-year starters. This year we've got several returning starters, give or take 7 or 8 guys coming back. But up front, we've got 4 returning starters. We have one of the most experienced portal tackles in the country, and Marion Harris to add to that group of 4 players. Jake Michaela. A year ago at this time, he had just gotten on campus from Stanford, and so he went several months without being in a locker room, training and preparing for his first year away from Stanford and that in the SEC. And so I think there's going to be a better version of all those guys. I think they're stronger, more confident. There's more chemistry. There's more cohesion. Certainly there's an experience factor, what it takes to be better in the SEC. And make no mistake, we've got a lot of improvement to do there, offensively speaking. In being able to run the football. We got to run it a heck of a lot better than what we did a year ago, but I do believe in not only them, but the other parts around them offensively. And then defensively, I don't take anything for granted. We lost 4 really good players up front, and 2 at defensive end and 2 at defensive tackle. A year ago at this time, David Stone, many people, who's a very highly recruited guy coming out of high school, as a top guy in the country, proclaimed him or wrote stories about he might be a bust and things of that nature. And he didn't listen to any of that. He just put his head down and worked and had an outstanding sophomore year. And Taylor Wine's a guy that, going into the summer, he comes to see me, one of the lowest paid guys on our roster, a guy that we offered his senior year in high school in the playoffs. And he asked me if he could get some incentives. And I said, why don't you worry about playing first before we worry about incentives? And so all Taylor did was become an all-SEC player, lead our team in, I think he had 7 sacks and 15 tackles for loss. And so I say that just to remind certainly myself, but everybody that every year there's a new storyline when it comes to players emerging, players coming out of nowhere. This is a line of scrimmage league, make no mistake about it. The margins are incredibly small. I would argue that if you lose the line of scrimmage in any particular game, most of the time you're going to lose the game. It's not by if you're going to lose, it's by how much you're going to lose. So that's where it starts for us. That's certainly it's not only a mentality, you recruit to that, you nurture that. As we're getting ready to start football camp here, fall camp, our training camp, you develop a tough physical team in fall camp. You want to play that way in the season. That's the way that's what you got to develop during the course of fall camp. But I am excited about the group of guys that we have there up front on both sides of the ball. We've recruited well, we've developed well, and guys are eager to go prove their worth.
Okay, we'll go down the center aisle, 4 rows back right in front. Barry?
Yeah, Brent, Barry Trammell, Tulsa World. Brent, last year you came into the season without a lot of hype on the team. This year, quite a bit more. How did you use that to your advantage last year? And how will you replicate it since the buzz about your chances are much higher?
Yeah, I screenshot the list and stuff like that. Sometimes you use it, sometimes you don't. But we're at the bottom of most lists. I don't know what lists are out there, but most of them, listen, we focus on things that we can control. Do you ever use that as a motivation and for a guy to maybe humble a guy? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, this is a game of performance. This is a game that's about the work, and this is a game where it's decided on the field. As I said, opening up, man, we've got a lot of work to do. We're not a very good team yet. We have a lot of foundational pieces that, as I said, that we're really excited about. There's a tremendous eagerness. You learned a lot through a year ago. Some of it's affirmation and belief in where maybe a lot of people didn't pick us or talk highly of us a year ago going into the season, and our ability to overcome that, not to block out the noise, to focus on the things that we can control, improve and get better, figure out our identity as the season went along. And there's a confidence and a momentum that comes from the success from the season as well as again the way the season ended and the disappointment. I think the hunger of this football team is there. I think the motivation to put themselves in the conversation down the road, the willingness to do the work that it takes to put ourselves in that position down the road too. So we're trying to focus and be rooted in work, rooted in our preparation, rooted in our brotherhood, loyalty, the toughness that it takes to win and do the things that winning requires.
Coach, we'll go over to our right-hand side on the aisle.
Hello, Coach. Jacob Worthing, KRUI Radio.
Good.
Coming off a 6-7 season 2 years prior to 10-3 last year, what are you instilling in your players to that way success becomes the standard at Oklahoma and not just a one-off season?
Yeah, I think again you focus on the programmatically your standards, what your non-negotiables are as a program. You recruit the right kind of people, you got the right kind of staff. There's a development component. Now, obviously, 2 years ago, we were hemorrhaged on offense, had 9 starters that were out, season-ending type injuries, both offensive line with 10 different starting lineups, and our top 6 receivers unavailable with a freshman quarterback squeezing a ball. It's a bad recipe in this conference, a very unforgiving conference with the defenses that they see week in and week out. So, you look at the things that were going well, you try to build on those, you try to learn from even your injury situation and find ways programmatically to efficiently get better. You're always looking at that. But you recruit the right kind of guys. I think if you look at defensively speaking, for example, and you saw a lot of it last year, but you see a program that's a developmental program. I think we had 9 starters on defense that were all high school guys that were year 4 for us a year ago, and guys that were homegrown and developed, went through some hard times and ability to get better from those hard times, learning from both the good and the bad, but creating real momentum, I think that's a very real thing from one year to the next, especially with the amount of returning guys that we have in really all three phases. You continue to build on the success and the momentum from a year ago.
Coach, we'll go over to our left-hand side on this front row.
Hey, Brent, George Stoyas.
Hey, George.
Scoop. You were just talking about the defensive development, and since you've gotten to OU, you've had great competitive depth on defense. You've been able to build that up. On offense, though, you guys have struggled the last couple of years. Where do you feel like that competitive depth is on that side of the ball on offense and that development of homegrown players?
Great question. And I think there's some positions that have a little more of the competitive depth and a few positions that you wish you had a little more. But at the end of the day, I think we've addressed and improved every one of the positions from the guys that are in the room. And I think you develop that as well. I think modern college football today requires you to get more inexperienced players ready sooner rather than later. And so to develop that. So raising the bottom half of your roster, if you will, guys that maybe haven't established themselves quite yet or just got there out of high school, I think it's important that we do a great job. We're very mindful that we expeditiously develop them and put them in a position where they can create the kind of depth that helps you win. And it's easier said than done, but that's really where the focus is. Again, I think, for example, we've transformed really the wide receiver and the tight end room. We got 5 really good backs. Up front, we probably have 9 guys that can play winning football for us right now. How that compares, there's probably a few teams that have, better than that, and then there's probably more people that are like us or a little bit less when it comes to that. And I like where we're at quarterback right now, both, with John and certainly in the future. So not an easy thing to do in this transfer portal world. I'm excited that we only have one portal. It helps you, have your team a little bit longer than less tampering. But I'm really excited about, what Jim Nagy, our front office, have helped us do, transform that side of the football. We're going to be a lot better around our quarterback and, again, have a lot of experience coming back this year compared to where we were a year ago.
Coach, we'll go over to our right-hand side.
Hey, Coach. Abby DeSalvo from the
Hey,
Tampa Bay
Abby.
Times. What leadership have you seen from Eddie specifically, and what factored into the decision to bring him here as a team representative, given that leadership depth you talked about earlier?
Yeah, great question. Eddie he's an alpha. Eddie's a guy that's had to work incredibly hard. I think he was the top-rated guard by many recruiting outlets coming out of high school. And but Eddie had some things that he needed to work on, both fundamentally and from his body standpoint, flexibility, things of that nature. But Eddie's been somebody that has shown up in the facility from the day he got to Norman, Oklahoma, with tremendous gratitude. And he affects everybody in our building every single day. He's thoughtful. He shows up with the right mentality, with something to prove. He brings out the best in his teammates. He's willing to have honest conversations with his teammates. He's a motivator. He loves to play, loves to compete, loves to kick butt. He loves to knock the hell out of the guys lined up across, and that resonates. That brings out the best in everybody. But his juice, his energy, his passion, his love for his teammates, his love for his opportunity, really kind of has him to kind of stand out there all by himself. But he's been fantastic. We talk every day in our facility about elevation, and Oklahoma's a place of elevation, and but everybody has that responsibility to elevate the brand of Oklahoma football, elevate their opportunity, elevate their teammates. If they're doing it right, becoming a great player, a great leader is about elevating others, and Eddie's done that as good as anybody in our facility.
Okay, we'll go in the section right in front of me, Coach, 3 rows back. Kirk?
Yeah. Hey, Brent, you look better without the neck brace.
Thank you. Feel better without it.
Yeah, Kirk Bowles, Houston Chronicle. Y'all struggled to run the ball last year, same as Alabama, same as Texas, a lot of teams. Do you feel like the running game has taken a back seat in any way to the passing game in college football these days?
I think there potentially could be something to that. And I don't want to get into all the minutia in that regard. Certainly you named 3 teams that have been used to running the ball incredibly well over the history of time and not doing it well. Lots of reasons for that. And so for us, don't spend a whole lot of time just on what's out there in college football and who's doing what other than what we're doing in Norman. And we got to be more aggressive. We got to be more physical. We got to be better technically sound. We got to have all the right schemes. We got to have belief. We got to have the toughness that goes along with that. And so that's really where we have focused our time here in the out of season. For us to be a championship team, for us to be in that conversation at the end of the year, we got to be a whole heck of a lot better. It puts tremendous pressure on every part of your team when you can't consistently run the football. And so fortunately for us a year ago, guys stepped up at times and were a big part of helping us win. But at the end of the day, for us to be who we want to be, the vision that we have, we've got to run the ball a hell of a lot better than what we have the last couple of years.
Okay, we're going to stay in that same section a little further back.
Hi, Brent. Travis Brown with KVTX.
Hey, Travis.
What are your thoughts on renewing an old conference rivalry with Texas A&M this year?
Yeah, it's exciting. Again, it's another one of the long teams that it just talks about the depth of the SEC. They've done Mike and his staff have done a wonderful job at building the roster, taking over a really good roster when Jimbo left, and continue that tradition of building in the trenches. I think that's, if they've done something really well, that they've done that well. But it's going to be a great challenge. Going to be in Norman, thankfully, for us. But one of many really good teams that, man, we got to show up with our A game to have a chance to compete.
Okay, we're going to go down in front of me here in the second row. Microphone to your right.
Coach Venables, so much for easing into the schedule this year. 3 of your first 5 games really defining front-loaded. You're at Michigan, at Georgia, and then Texas and Dallas. Does that change your preparation schedule for the beginning of the season because you just start right in the fire?
I mean, every game is big, right? You only get 12 opportunities, unlike baseball or basketball. So you got to be ready each and every week. My responsibility is to get our guys to play their best football, all 12 games, to give them what they need. You're always looking, again, you're playing early game against Michigan on the road. So there's some things that you're trying to do to, from a scheduling standpoint, that are going to give you the best chance to recover and be ready to go play. But great challenge. And I think in the out-of-season program for us, it's worked to our benefit in regards to the motivation, the excitement, the enthusiasm, the quality of the work that our guys have put in. Couldn't be more excited about that. But again, you're not going to sneak up on anybody in Ann Arbor or going to Athens, Georgia. I think they've lost once in maybe 5 or 6 years at home. Georgia's been the gold standard, in my opinion, for college football for quite some time now. And then obviously Texas and Dallas is always a tremendous challenge and something our guys are ready to do. But I think that's more of an affirmation. That's really what, playing Michigan is certainly out of conference, but that's what our conference looks like. Each and every week, man, you're not going to sneak up on anybody. Nobody's going to, look past Oklahoma. We're going to bring out the best in everybody. And but something our guys are really looking forward to the challenge. Particularly again early that season. But there's no walkovers after those 3 games either.
Okay, we have time for a couple more. We'll start in the same section in front of me. North to the back.
Hey, Coach. Chris Marlowe, LouisianaSports.net.
Hey, Chris.
Last year's team motto was hard to kill. Is that carrying over to this year? Is there a new team motto? And more importantly, are we getting any more 50 Cent performances in Norman this year?
Yeah, I don't know about 50 Cent and the hard to kill, motto. We don't look for mottos to hang on. I think the identity of the team is what we focus on. That's going to be developed. What is that hard to kill? What does it mean? It means all the things that we want to be about as a program. Again, having some stick-to-itness, having a program built on toughness, figuring out this is the game of football, and we play again in a game today where, again, the margins, as I said earlier, are incredibly small. Winning is incredibly challenging. And, for our guys, man, each and every week is going to be a bloodbath. And we got to figure it out, play complementary football. The most physical football teams win at the end of the day. That's what it's all about. There's no substitute for being physical. And, for me, that aligns right with who I am. And so our guys they understand, what it takes to win in this league. And again, I'm not sure we're going to, again, hang our hats on any new slogans and whatnot, but I think we need to be built on the right things and rooted in the right things. And again, hard work, toughness, physicality, learning the value of punching back, because you're going to get punched. You're going to get knocked on the ground, and how you respond ultimately decides on, what kind of success you have.
Coach, we're going to take one final question on the very back of the room, all the way back to the right on the wall.
Hey, Coach. Brandon Drum, OU Insider.
Brandon.
How you doing?
Good.
Last year you talked about middle depth being a big part of your reason you guys won. This year, heading into this season, how do you feel about the middle depth, guys that take up snap counts, special teams? And what are some of those guys that you feel have a chance to step up this year?
Yeah, a great question, and something that we've talked about over the last 7 months. Virtually daily in our program. I think a year ago, and particularly on defense, there were more proven players in that middle half of our roster that we had, not theory, but we actually had evidence that we could build on. I think the challenge for this year's team is how fast can we raise that level up? And there's, just like there was a year ago, nobody knew who Tate Sandell was, or Grayson Miller, or Mike Fasusi wasn't even shaving last year. I think he started his first football game, and he had just turned 18 years old, first year in college. Ryan Fogier, same thing as a freshman. So many guys, Isaiah Sategna, some guy from Arkansas, some Hammenegger from Arkansas. So many guys that you didn't really know about. It's going to emerge. It's going to happen again this year. Who that's going to be, you certainly, you've been very intentional about developing and trying to, again, bring guys along quickly, put guys in a position where you strain them and you put them in positions where they're forced to grow and get better. So whether that's reps, but lots of development, lots of film room. And that makes me, for us as a staff, as the competitors that we are, is how fast can we do that? Can we do it better than other people? And so whether that's a Nigel Smith or a Trent Wilson or a Bishop Thomas or a Danny Okoye, get PJ Adebawore to play a season where he's healthy, Reggie Powers emerging, things of that nature. Cortland Gilroy is another name, again, a year ago that nobody really knew who he was other than a true freshman from Houston, and he comes out and has a freshman All-American type year. So that's going to happen again, Brandon. I don't know who that's going to be. Don't know where it is on the Richter scale when it comes to we're at this percentage or we're close, to where we were a year ago. Again, I think that this will all play itself out here over the next several months, and something that's going to be, I think it's going to be part of the story of this football team when it's all said and done as well.
Coach Venables, thank you for your time this morning.
All right, appreciate it. Y'all have a great day. Thank you. Boomer Sooner.
All right, 1 of 16 down. Brent Venables, by the way, will be on our set here with us about an hour and a half from now. But we are going to dive into what he had to say. We're going to welcome Greg McEnroe to the set as well, and John Mateer. He'll be up here later, but he's talked to the media some. We'll hear from him coming up on the other side.